encounter but follow up to our walk yesterday. So we will go see the Ennis House, the Sowden House, and the Hollyhock House. Maybe with a little more direction than we did yesterday. Mic check, alright. Microphone, let me know if that's better. I actually had to clip it to my fanny pack. Let me know if that works any better. Otherwise I'll shut down, restart the little microphone box or receiver. Hey, Carriopolis. Oh, great. Thank you so much. The microphone was like in my pocket. I was trying to create a little more of a ASMR moment today. The rustling of my pocket. I don't have any change though, so kind of an uninteresting rustle. So yesterday, Aztec, Mayan, confusion. I think half of us thought we were going to the Ennis House, and half of us thought we were going to the Sowden House. I was actually just heading for the closest house, but I've been dying to visit these places, so I'm pretty stoked. Hey Carla, hey Becky. So the three houses we're seeing are all Wright houses. W-R-I-G-H-T. I'm getting my transmission notice and we just got started. So let me just double check here. So we're just going to go re-look at the Sowden House first and kind of migrate westish. Give me one sec. I'm just checking our YouTube stream out. There we go. Looked like we were buffering on my end for a second. Sometimes it looks like that here, but it actually isn't, and then I get all wacky and try to fix it for nada. Like right now. All right. So we're not going to be streaming tomorrow, next couple days, but I have put a couple videos, and I think we might try to do like a members live stream on a particularly scenic drive. We'll see how that works out. But we'll be in contact. So yesterday we went up to Griffith Observatory and live streamed. It was pretty good when you were close to the actual observatory. And we actually went inside the observatory, which was fantastic too, and saw some of those great ball-in murals that we saw the day before in the Edison building downtown. So today, doubt we'll be able to go inside of anything. These are privately held. And the Hollyhock House you can go on a tour of. But I don't know. I didn't dig deep enough to see if we could waltz in there with a gimbal, air quotes. We're going this way to 6151 Franklin. I've always wanted to attend. I feel like for a long time, I wish we were walking back. We should have gone up this street yesterday. It's really interesting. I've always wanted to go to the Kadampa Meditation Center. All right, here's our ambulance today. Gosh, I hope I'm walking in the right direction. I forgot to check that. Right, yeah, I think I am. You know, the one thing I really hate about Los Angeles is sometimes it's really hard to see the house numbers. Other than that, everything is perfect here. Perfect. But I did spend one summer. I quit a really awful job. Thanks so much for the guidance. I knew you would. A really, really awful job. And I was like, I'm going to take a couple months off. Well, that's always a great idea. But one has to have money to eat and etc. So I did like a Uber service, except it wasn't Uber. It doesn't exist anymore. It paid people too well. I really learned Los Angeles that summer, I've got to tell you. But the one thing I realized is that, sorry about that, like, how do you find, well, there's the addresses are big there, but a lot of times it's impossible to tell the address. Some of them are just painted on the curb. Now that I said that, I am walking towards Vermont. Now that I said that, every one that we see is pretty visible. I'm just bitching about something I completely made up. I am going in the wrong direction for the first house, so let's turn around. Dude, I should have... And dudettes, I should have put this on MapQuest. We came from this way yesterday. So I need to walk away from Vermont at first and then go back towards Vermont, I believe. That's the other way. Okay. So 4800. You know, I never really learned how to read the signs. 4800 West. Yeah, we're going in the other direction. It's really weird. We have walked by that guy in the cherry picker twice. He's always by himself. It doesn't really seem safe. We'll eventually cross the street and then maybe walk up one at that little side street that I pointed out earlier, because it's these cool Normandy style apartment buildings. So the first house is a repeat from yesterday, except we have some added flair. I actually think I meant to start further over, but I walked here and I kind of walked a little too far east. I promise you, when I'm not on stream, I actually don't often get lost. Actually, I maybe only saw this street at sunset, and that's what made it kind of cute and quaint. We'll still look up. Just want to give a real shout out to LA Unknown for contributing today, and also to my members. A shout out to the members. Thank you for the support. And subscribers, thank you for your support. I swear I can speak. Alright, let me end that. I don't know if it plays. It plays a couple times. But really, thank you guys so much. And if it's your first time here, let me do this while I have it in my mind to do it. Please give us a like, subscribe, a chat, maybe a hype if you're on your phone, and hype us up. Woot woot. We live stream 4 days a week, 5 days a week sometimes. I think also 6 days a week, depending. This weekend we'll be out of town, so we put up a couple of short videos, but not shorts. I think I'm going to keep them horizontal. So we're about 100 away from this just insane house. For the next house, it's off of this street, so I'm going to pull up maps to guide us there. So we walked by these yesterday after we came down off the hill. Hey, Mark. Happy Thursday. I feel like there was a lady named Mary, or a person named Mary, that was asking about mobility options at Griffith Park yesterday. So the bus is totally like wheelchair accessible if you need to get in a wheelchair. If you have problems, getting up steps, I think the buses all have ramps, but they do have access. And then once you get into the observatory, I believe that I know that there are ways that you can get in, and elevators. So I think it is also pretty handicapable accessible is the term I like. But the bus, 35 cents. The last time I went, the bus was totally free. I'm not really sure. I was expecting the bus to be free this time also. But 35 cents, you can't beat that. Even Angel's Flight is more.
I think that I feel that's
Oh my god, the lady's scaring the crap out of me. Hi. She's pushing a stroller, but literally pushed it. Alright, I'm gonna look like a big creeper standing here, but we're standing on the other side here either. I would love to get in there. Not open to the public. So this is the Sowden House. I'm gonna try to stand in the shade, and then I'll pull up some pictures as if we were walking inside. Hey, it was Marie. Hey Marie, how are you doing? So, built in 1926. This, I could be completely wrong. This might have been Andrew This might have been Wright's first house. I almost said Andrew Lloyd Webber. I'm not into show tunes. I don't know where that came from. This might have been Wright's first house. I believe also Neutra worked on this house as well. So let me just check my notes. So it has the gaping jaw entrance. See if we can get a little closer to that. And then I'll pull up some pictures. So I was kind of so excited that we kind of accidentally came here. I thought I wanted to turn this into the full stream for today. So within this house, it's got a courtyard, which we mentioned, with huge looming walls and narrow cave-like passageways. It was built for artist John Soden's lavish parties and performances. I'm going to step into the shade for a second. It was nicknamed the Jaws House, obviously. Dr. George Hodel bought it. It was the site of wild, drug-fueled parties. I actually read a... what was it? LAist article, I think, on him this morning when I was just doing a little fact checking for this. So we talked about Hodel maybe being one of the folks that was suspected of moitering the Black Dahlia. I'm gonna walk over here a little bit. There's some more shade and maybe a little better view. So Hodel was actually bugged here by the LAPD. And they had tapes caught of him saying, now I have to look at my paper, "Supposin' I did kill Dahlia." It was never proven. Cadaver dogs did later hit on possible remains under this house. There's spooky tunnels here. Some say ritual spaces and secret rooms, uncanny acoustics, sudden cold spots in the courtyard. It's just an amazing, amazing house. So let me pull it up. I hope I don't pull up another one of the images. So beyond that door that we see right there, well, look at, this is like if I had a drone. Like, that's what we're looking at. Let me get rid of that if I know how. So just beyond that, the other side, the door, this is what they look like. Incredible. I don't really get any kind of evil vibe from this house whatsoever. The courtyard. This is what it looks like. No, sorry. I knew that was gonna happen. That's the next house. I can't wait to show you the next house, the Holly. Well, that's not the next house. The next house is the one that half of us thought we were going to yesterday, the Mayan temple. There is so much more to read on these houses and see on these houses, and they were in a lot of movies. Of course, I didn't list that for this, but all right, on to the next house. Next house is going to be the Ennis House, so 2655 Glendower Ave, Los Feliz. Let me just get Siri to get me directions. How about that? This is a dash bus right here, lowering itself actually. I haven't yet, but I did write it down. And we'll definitely check it out. It might be, if it's like sort of an isolated spot, it might be better for like a short video versus a live stream. But I promise you, within the next couple days, I will actually look it up. I have written it down though. And Mary reminded me, actually. Shout out to Mary M. Not to be confused with Marie M. Alright, I'm gonna make a little turn here. How cute is this house? Like a little casita. Alright, we're turning right on Mariposa. And I'm gonna stand under the shade of this tree. Here's some bougainvillea. A little closer look at them. So I don't want to disturb anybody. Let me pull out my Maps app. And I'm going to talk into it now. Technology, a blessing and a curse. Oops, it started typing that out. Really hard to do it with one hand. 2655 Glendower. And I need to press the microphone. 2655 Glendower Avenue, Los Feliz. Alright, we got it. It would take 7 minutes to drive there. We've got about it says 26-minute walk, but I'm a pretty fast walker. So the next house we're going to is the Ennis House, built between 1924 and 1925. It's another like concrete compressed block house. If I get the terminology wrong, forgive me. I forget what the actual concrete blocks are called. Maybe compressed concrete. I believe Dudley, who was here yesterday. Oh, Malco Rub, congrats on the new office. I missed that. Sorry, it's really bright out here. I will sometimes miss parts of the conversation. I'm a puppy. Marie, I've only gotten really, really, really great recommendations from folks on here. So I trust you. Huh. Here's the Porch Fest Los Angeles. Really cute neighborhood thing. I want to go up. I just don't want to sweat my arse off. You know, I was on my way here today and we walked by. Okay, I'm going left on North Kenmore, but I really can't cross there. Or I can, but it doesn't make it easy. These are the worst kind of crosswalks ever, because no one ever wants to stop for ya. Oh, well, this worked out. I think the other street was the cuter street. But that's okay. Wait. I think I need to go up Edgemont and not this street. Unfortunate, super cute. Alright, I'm actually going the right way. I don't know how that is, but I'm going the right way, so it all works out. Cute street. That's alright. We're good to play in the background. I think it was actually the other street that is more interesting. But look at this cool, like, streamline building. I love the vine-covered building also. I always just wonder about bugs crawling in the windows. Oh, we're heading up from Franklin. I love those windows. I think that's Leonardo DiCaprio's house right there with the pumpkin on the stairs. He's out of town right now. I'm joking. I have no idea where Leonardo DiCaprio lives. I feel like he's more Beverly Hills. There are quite a few famous people that live in this neighborhood, although I'll be damned if I can mention any of them. So, it's the observatory. Did I just find another way to walk up there? I have to tell you, this is like rarefied air up here. We're like 4 blocks up from crazy arse traffic. I still may later. I was just so inspired by our walk yesterday that I wanted to go visit these houses. It feels like the closer I get to the Ennis House, the worse my signal is. Good to see you, mountain bike. We're going out of town tomorrow, as I've mentioned nonstop. I have so many chores to do. Such as, laundry. I like to clean before I go out of town so it feels like a hotel when I get back. Stop. Let me just check my signal. Oof. I'm kind of losing signal momentum. Hold on. I'm gonna just I'm just checking what it looks like. Oh, it looks like we got a good 600. Alright, I'm letting these people go, and then I don't give a rat's ass, I'm going. I think we'll also get a little stable up here. Pardon my French if you just heard me mutter "for fuck's sake" under my breath, and then say it once again out loud. Hey, anorexic, it just looked like I was just trying to... Give me 1 second to see if my signal can be better. Hang tight. From that. Thanks for standing by. Alright. For standing by. Alright. So, Los Feliz Boulevard, I'm to go right here. And then take a little... Alright. So, I'm kind of excited to see this one. Because we have never walked by this one. This one's kind of tucked out of the way. And it's incredible. Hey, Simply Sonora, happy Thursday. Hope you are doing and feeling great today. We are kind of just exploring the area below the observatory. A little follow-up to yesterday. We're in Los Feliz, if you're from Los Angeles. So I have to turn left on Catalina Street. Let's keep our eyes out for that. I love these trees. And the little moments that they provide. Moments of shade. Not that I don't love a palm tree. But these guys... I don't know. They kind of sometimes look a little like prehistoric pine tree. So we're turning left on Catalina, which is right here. I'm gonna post a video about the smog, actually, and what it was like in the 70s. So, we can't see it really from right here. Let me see if I can get a little edge out. The next spot we're going to, and I could be slightly off, is that hill over there. So that's where the Hollyhock House is. Right now, we're gonna go up this Catalina. Catalina to Cromwell. I think we take a right on Cromwell according to 500 feet is Cromwell Ave. And then the big reveal. I've been working on a TikTok dance. So since we have to cross, we'll do that anyway right now. Ooh, I just walked through a cobweb. That's good luck. Oh my god, leaded gas is insane. I forgot about leaded gas. What do you do if you have a vintage car? Was it easy to convert it from leaded gas? These are all pretty beautiful houses, not apartments. We are so close to the observatory. You can almost touch it. Like the house from like Leave It to Beaver or something. I just made it up. I think you have to create your own destiny in life, so when I see a black cat on my path, I think, what is the likelihood of that happening? Not many black cats, so I must be lucky. Bird poop on my head, lucky. Alright, I'm looking for a staircase. Oh, I shouldn't talk so loud. It's 250 feet on my left. Sometimes these staircases, which are really awesome, occasionally they get closed up because they're just go through too much private property, or like too close to people's houses. So I don't think that's the staircase, no. Again, never been here before. Can shout out to LA Unknown for the recommendation. It's just lovely, like, I mean, imagine pulling up to this. Ah, I think that's our staircase. Yeah, the Los Feliz Heights steps, built in 1924. Wow. So they're pretty steep. They do provide you a little seat to sit on. before you go up. There are a few neighborhoods that have stairs like this. Okay. So I lived next to a staircase like this, and it was a pretty isolated staircase, and people used to exercise on it all the time, which is really awesome. But occasionally people would like break down out there. And it's like on the side of a hill in Silver Lake, and there weren't many houses around, so you just hear someone screaming or crying or talking to themselves. But you couldn't see who it was. Also, if I were like a teenager, I would totally be hanging out on these steps smoking whatever I wanted to. Mostly a cigarette, probably. Oof. Except there's a sign up here, no fires, no smoking. So they knew this was going to be hard. So you have another little rest area right here. I think Bonview is straight up. I don't know if, like, this would be a place to hang out if I were a teenager. So there's these weird staircases all over the city like this. Like, imagine this is a public staircase, having it just go right up to your house. Oh, I'm excited. I don't think I've been up to Bonview, certainly not by stairs. Okay. Home stretch. I am rolling down this hill, just so you know. Okay. A little unstable. We're gonna move on. Woo. Wow, what a cool hidden little mansion. Oh my god, we are really high today, as in elevation. Sorry if I'm breathing like... I just drank my water, but we'll get one on the way to the next house. I hate carrying water, so I try to like drink it before. This lovely view. Very lucky. But free library. It looks like they're filming something here. All right. We're kind of so high up, I'm starting to get weirded out. I don't know why that is. I am gonna do, for sure, I am gonna do those stairs several times just to get the right angle. I'm gonna do a stair walk in Silver Lake, actually, probably in October Like, once we end up with like a max 70-degree day, I feel like that's a good time to start branching out, doing more strenuous things. I honestly thought it was going to be like 70 degrees today. Okay, so we're almost where we need to be. Thank you. And there's a sidewalk. Thank goodness. And shade. All right. Oh my God. Look like a creepy old gate. Holy shit, I kind of see it. We're almost there. Let me get out of this shrubbery and maybe we'll get my signal back. Oh. Oh. This is called Witch's Whimsy. I hope you guys are still there. Looks like the signal is struggling. Tyra Mail. Let me do something really to the building, but it's kind of like the blocks that are used to compose the building. I have to not walk backwards to this narrow street too much. So 1924. Hey Dudley, 1924 to 1925. You should be good now, let me know. So the blocks are kind of crumbling, and that's the way they're supposed to look. It's supposed to look like a crumbling ruin. The ziggurat terraces, heavy retaining walls, we can't really see. You can see part of a retaining wall from there. Retaining wall up there. And I'll do a really close look at this. This is the largest of Wright's LA's houses. Textile blocks is what they're called, actually. And it's designed to age into the hillside. So there was severe damage to this in the 1994 Northquake North Ridge earthquake. Northquake, Earth Ridge. And then 2005 rains. That was a really rainy year, caused a wall to collapse. So it's been in Blade Runner, House on Haunted Hill, Buffy, Twin Peaks also filmed here. This was once on the National Trust's most endangered homes list, or most endangered list. So neighbors say that after the rain, the blocks kind of sweat. There's no ghostly mystery here that I could find. But let me show you a couple things. So this is truly just magnificent building. This is kind of the hallway. This is probably the room that we're kind of seeing right now. From that window, that's the view. Charlie, you can keep walking up to the front of the house. All right, we'll do that. Let me find that. We'll get a little closer. And then this is like the floor plan for it. Kind of gives you a, sorry, it's a little big, but it kind of gives you a sort of sense of the scale. Right? I think this is undergoing major restoration right now. And it's completely privately owned. There's our tree service guys. So I'm gonna do a quick swipe up. I'll get a little closer look. Ms. Evil Glenn, hello. I feel like they can, we'll just walk up closer to it. So I think I can walk up closer to it on the street. I saw them like spit out some 3D printed house in the desert out of concrete or something, and it was pretty cool. I really love the idea of 3D printing everything. Imagine, we won't go in their driveway, but it's a pretty kick-ass view. Just have a zen moment real quick. All right, so I was complaining about a condo and not being able to alter it in any way because the HOA. I would imagine, whoa, check this new build out. I think the future also should be us printing our own homes. That would be great. Okay. They're listening to copywritten music, so we're not going to get too close. But so we saw the inside. I haven't walked around Bel Air. Actually, I had a friend who lived in Bel Air. This is truly amazing. So the wind chimes are part of it, actually. I thought it was just somebody's wind chimes. So the motif is kind of a Greek key in a way. The original owner was a mason, if that means anything to you. So I think the whole sort of a modern ruin, right? Okay, there's some, I think it's privately held, I can tell by some really bad choices. Okay, one more right house to go. I'm gonna roll down this window. Probably. There's like another photographer and people standing outside doing something. Hey, we have new members. Congrats. I kind of missed out. I'm sweating bullets walking up a hill. But hey, thank you so much. We have some fireworks. Thanks, Kaiser. Thanks for new members. I'm not sure who did us that. Hold on. But thank you so much. Woo! All right, this direction is better. We can see the scale better. Thanks, Ozgay. Thank you so much. Woo! And kitties. Wow. All right. So on to Hollyhock House. So we're about, I'm hoping that I just don't want to get too far out on the street. We're going down there now. So we're going to drift in and out till we get back to Franklin. Thank you guys so much. If we can only peek over this fence, I think we can. It's pretty amazing. All right, little transmission issue for a sec. I would hate to be driving a truck down this hill. But that guy's a professional. We should get a star maps, and we should just do a star maps one day. Ennis House, this guy right here, and then we're gonna go to Hollyhock, because these are all pretty kind of close together. So this is more or less sort of a follow-up to our trip yesterday, but with a little more background story. So thanks, LA Unknown. Also, thanks for telling me to continue walking up so you could see a little closer, because I probably would have stopped right here. Hi there. What do you think people thought of this at the time it was being built? I mean, I know when they built a new building in well, I mean, they weren't really building things like this, and also it was right, but we are just visiting Frank Lloyd Wright houses today. So the next house that we're going to visit is the Hollyhock House. It was the last house that he built. So the first house, I believe, was the Sowden House. The largest, the Ennis House. And the last, Hollyhock House. I have a I think we talked about this yesterday. I have a really kind of queer memory in which I just remember random things, but also occasionally sometimes mess them up. Like yesterday. Mayan, Aztec, I just look at these houses perched into the hills. This is why I don't even want to say the F word, but, you know, fire is so scary to us here in Los Angeles, especially in the hills. These houses are all tightly packed and crammed together. Oh, here. Yeah, that house is like cantilevered. I noticed that coming up. I don't know how I would feel about living in a house hanging off a cliff. This one looks like very 50s. Like Formica fence, or I forget what that material, fiberglass. Bryn Mawr. It's a dead end. It also looks like it has a crumbling staircase on it. All right, we're heading down the hill and going east. Heading back down to Hollywood Boulevard and to the Hollyhock House. It's another set of stairs. We've walked to the Hollyhock House before. It's in Barnsdall Art Park. So it'll be somewhat familiar to you. Yeah, I don't like the idea of hanging over anything, really. It's really this is probably one of the oldest houses up here. Right here, this little, thing. And it's really cool to see pictures of this when it was, the only house and this hill was empty. Bon view. So we're going to go back down Bon view, which means good view, I'm guessing. Or we could go... Let's go the way we came. Hello! Thank you so much for joining us. We are up in the hills of Los Feliz, or Los Feliz Heights, checking out the Wrights, heading down to Hollywood Boulevard to check out the Hollyhock House. It's a house party. I think I feel like that was a little duplicitous, but I figured anybody who watches the live stream regularly would get it. Kind of really lovely bunch of olive trees and bougainvillea. Olive trees suck if nobody picks the olives, though. My neighborhood is littered with olive trees. You can now start to see downtown LA over there. I'm not... it's just the silhouette of... The crazy thing about this house is it looks really small from the front, like kind of a ranch, but it probably just dips down 2 stories in the back. It's the mullet of houses. Hey Mary, thank you so much. You know, just realize I'm walking down the wrong way, but I'm probably going to end up in Glendale. I'm joking. There's always a way down. Oh. Hi. Dude, it's like stately Wayne Manor with a tennis thing full of tennis balls. I'm just gonna keep calling them golf balls. Here's another view of the Ennis House. Bienvenue à Bel Château. Glendower, here we go. We kind of lost it again, but there it is. We'll eventually end up at the bottom of this hill. He makes fun of my jokes. And I mean that in a loving way. Well, Stately Wayne Manor. That tennis court belonged to that house. They have a giant pool. I will tell you though, it's kind of a little dilapidated, but I would live in it. Let me get to the side to stay alive. Bloop. I sense I'm going in the right direction again. It is so green and lush. It feels like a different climate up here. We're almost back down the hill. Let me just check my everything. 50%, still bright green. So now we're, I believe, at Vermont. Or we're going to end up on Vermont. So this is where the bus actually drives up to go to Griffith Observatory. Can't wait to get out of this dead zone. I mean, unalive zone. Pretty horrible. So yesterday, when we went to the Sowden House, we could have just the bus let me off right here. Wow, I would love this tree also if I was a kid. It's like a boat. ACC, welcome. Real quick plug. If you're just tuning in, welcome, thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Or the like button, right? This looks like a bed. Hey! Or like a boat, like a canoe. This is a really lovely house, and I just think it's so of a time. They continue to try to make houses that look like this, and I feel like they always end up looking like McMansions, but this one is genuinely just authentic feeling. Too big for me. Woo! And they're watering their lawn. And this is another one, also old. Although it's got some little Cheesecake Factory paint treatment there. So these trees, which are fantastic, really, you can see the roots. They were probably not the smartest trees to plant because of those roots tear up the sidewalks and the pipes. I lived above the Hollywood Hills for a little bit. I talk about this place every once in a while, and they had those kind of trees planted, and every couple weeks they had to turn the water off in a building because the roots were going through the pipes constantly. They took care of it. This is kind of my speed house, actually. 100%. Zero-scaped. A little mid-century sunburst. One level, so there's no attic to be haunted. You get it. All right, we're heading down Vermont. We're gonna take a sort of left-ish at the bottom. We get to walk through the cute little village, I believe, which is, we're taking a right-ish at the bottom. My favorite hobby every couple of years is looking at like flat pack houses or modular houses. I've probably been doing that since like since the 1850s when the Sears catalog. No, since probably like 2006 or 2007. I somehow got a subscription to Dwell magazine. I don't even know if that exists, but they always had modular and prefab houses, modern looking, really awesome stuff in there. And I kind of became obsessed with them. The crawl spaces scare me too. Also, if anybody can remember the name of this movie, you have had to have been alive in the 70s and early 80s, but there was this movie about a guy who lived with his mother, and he accidentally killed, he was like I guess the 70s version of kind of an incel, but he was being made fun of by this girl, and then he pushed her down and she hit her head and unalived. And then his mother hid him from the police by boarding up one of the rooms of their house and the pantry, like putting a room behind the pantry, and he lived there, and then she passed away, and then the next family found him. It wasn't a horror movie though. It wasn't The Deer Hunter. I feel like it was a made-for-TV movie almost. It had that kind of quality to it. It would have played on TV. It would have been out around the time of The Boy in the Plastic Bubble, because I keep thinking that John Travolta was the guy that got boarded up in the closet, but he was not. Right? That movie somehow effed with me as a kid. I felt really bad for the guy the incel, although we didn't call him that at the time. But I always had a tendency to feel bad for the Invisible Man or the Godzilla. It's one of those movies that I saw part of so many times, and probably the complete, now I've got wet feet, complete movie like once, but like really in the first 10th of my life. There's another scary movie I remember from that time. I tried to explain it the other day. It's about a man who, maybe unalived, murdered his wife and then remarried, and the ghost of the wife came back to haunt them, and then she like the ghost caused a murder by turning the hot water up to high in the shower and locked the person inside because the water controls for the shower were outside. That's a really bad design. I'm gonna look it up. What's the matter with Ronald? Who was Ronald, though? So that's the question. What's the matter with Ronald? We'll have to find out. We need to know who Ronald was, too, because there was a reason why I felt bad for Ronald. Like, maybe he was an actor from something else. Or he was especially cute. Oh my god, Flowers in the Attic. Bad Ronald. Flowers in the Attic was a whole different ball game. That actress, though, the mother in that movie, she was in a bunch of movies right around that time and then kind of disappeared. She was really good at playing just a cold person. A heartless person. Maybe Mary. I'm gonna look it up. But not right now. I'm not that coordinated. Oh, was maybe Mary the horror movie? So all around this same time, I also remember seeing Let's Scare Jessica to Death, which is that movie I've seen multiple times throughout my life. That movie and Ghost Story are two just scary movies to me. I'm just going this way for a second to give that guy space. Cute little building. What a fun walkway. Oh well, he's crossing the street anyway. I always hate to be on people's ass for like multiple blocks. So something about Let's Scare Jessica to Death, like the people in it reminded me of my mother and father and their friends, kind of like that was their sort of look, and I think that's why it scared me. Also, the house I grew up in was really old and had a ton of really old pictures in it, black and white pictures from like the 1910s and 20s and 30s. Lots of weird stuff, I would say. So I don't know, it scared me because it was somehow familiar to me. The look, the people. I might should watch it again. I have a running list of movies. Oh my gosh. Do you think they gave all that stuff up for the Rapture? Bad Ronald. Oh, no worries. Every once in a while that happens. You're lucky I'm not texting. I can't even spell. You know how there's like Oprah's book club? I think we should start a Walking in LA movie club where we pick just some random movie, watch it, and then get back together and talk about it. So your assignment, maybe we'll do that next week. Everybody should watch Bad Ronald. That can be our first movie. Hey, Nomad. Well, I can see most of you guys didn't get picked up. I'm real sorry. Or actually, I was thinking maybe the world would be a little better. I'm joking again. That really sounds horrible. I don't want to get canceled. Oh, hey, Allie, I'm envious of you. We're having Fogtember. So every morning, it looks like we might have a rainy day, but then it turns into the stupid sun again. I'm kidding, I love the sun. What kind of pie should I bring?
That's exactly what I found.
What do you think? What's their best pie? I have so many ideas, but so little money to do them. It would be really fun to go there and ask what their 3 most popular pieces of pie are, get them, and eat them on a stream. Pecan pie can be really good or really gross. It can't be made with corn syrup. It has to be made with I forget what that stuff is. It's a sweetener that they use in the South a lot. It's cooled off a bit here too. Yesterday it was like 85. Today it's 84. Also, 81 or maybe. Also, I think the humidity down a little bit. I'm not so sweaty as I was yesterday. Strawberry or lemon? I think pecan pie is probably my favorite pie. Pecan, pumpkin. And apple as a third. Also like berries. The pumpkin pie, a cheap pumpkin pie from Smart and Final or an expensive pumpkin pie made from home, like it's almost always so good, so delicious. Also love sweet potato pie. I ate so many sweet potatoes a year ago or two. Joseph and I were eating so many sweet potatoes that my skin started turning orange. Oh, I like cherry pie too. Hey, Ruben! Happy Thursday. Thank you so much. I feel like when I was younger, I did not like pumpkin pie. I think I learned to like it the very first Thanksgiving I had not going to my family's house. It was like a friend's giving. And we got a pumpkin pie, a frozen turkey, instant mashed potatoes, corn, you name it. But, no one ever told me you had to thaw the fucking turkey. Sorry for the F word. We thawed the turkey, we'd never actually thawed the turkey. I don't even think we ate the turkey. We just ate pumpkin pie and mashed potatoes. And then spilled something all over the floor. This is how stupid a 19-year-old I was. We spilled something all over the floor and my friend was like, I know how to clean the floor. And I was like, okay. And she squirted Dawn dish detergent to clean the floor. White, cheap-ass plastic linoleum. For the rest of the time we lived there, that floor was tacky from that Dawn. Just gross. Don't ever clean your floors with Dawn. Almost anything else, though, I have to say. Really, yeah, it was almost like a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. Where it ceases to be Hollywood prospect. And then we're heading up to those trees over there. Woo, to the Hollyhock House. You know what? It's ridiculous. I could get hit by a car, but I probably won't. I know, but somehow Dawn greased up my floor. Dawn is kind of amazing. I recommend Dawn for a lot of stuff. Cleaning, if you have any like plastic outdoor kind of vinyl-y fabrics, Dawn is really good for cleaning stains out. I one time watched somebody on TV, of course, slide a overpass into place, like a street overpass into place using Dawn. Also, Dawn cleans birds. There we go. That did the trick. Touch wood, knock on wood. All right, I forget who asked me about H-salt fish and chips recently. We have, Allie, we've like got a couple seconds to turn on, so I figured that would be better than just a frozen screen. Oh, well, for ever and ever, oh, it's right there. H-salt fish and chips. Just the sign. Sad. I feel like Ajax, you mean the Ajax powder or the Ajax like liquid dish soap? The Ajax liquid dish soap and the powder are usually like the least expensive stuff, usually the 99 cents. I love Ajax Comet Cleanser, Bon Ami, Barkeeper's Friend. Rebecca, just in time for some more stairs. So, Hollyhock House. Let's get some shade up here, but it about 7 frames per second, which is not great. Hello? No. Okay. It's a little... All right, bye. All right. Woo! All right, so heading up the hill.
too would like to save a couple steps.
All right, Hollyhock House. Well, actually, that's not it. We're gonna get a little closer to it. All right, so we have gone from, let's see if we can get a little closer. So that's where we just walked from right now, in the sort of center right there. Okay. So the 1919 to 1921, Frank Lloyd Wright with Schindler. I have all my bars. I don't know why it's acting such. It's reacting in such a manner. So, this building has every little piece is designed with the hollyhock in mind, right? So friezes, carved plant motifs everywhere, even the inside. It's an amazing building. Let's get a little closer to it. Even these light posts. It's really beautiful up here. So, again, last set of stairs. This is one of the nicest spots ever, I think, with these trees. So this house was built for an oil heiress. Aline Barnsdall. They are always rehabbing this house. They do give free tours. The property is full of like reflecting pools. And it's just been given to the city. Let me just, yes, Barnsdall Park. Let me just show you a little bit exactly what the layout looks like of this guy. So this, we're in the front part of it, right? So this is the floor plan. Way you go. Welcome, welcome. Floor plan. This is the back. We'll see this, but not very well. How pretty amazing is that? We'll bring that one back up when we're back there. I think it's a little fenced off. And then I'm so stupid. the kitchen is amazing for this, as most of his kitchens are. So there's the dining room, right? And there you can see those chairs again with the same motif we see out here. Hey, focused. So let's walk around. So it was supposed to be a utopian artist colony. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and rightfully so. It's famous for constant leaks and flooding. Barnsdall once said she needed 3 men and 2 boys to move the 300-pound front door. There was an original moat system also, which wasted water and was later abandoned. You can see the moat system, sort of. It was neglected and then later reopened as a museum park. Let's walk. You can do a self-guided tour here. This was just Olive Hill, and this is like 1919, 1921. This building was built. So I'm gonna research doing the self-guided tour and see if we can't get in there with our cami. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've never seen the gate open. The sign says no entry, so we're not going to entry it, but I was going to enter it till those people came out. Then I got chicken. I have a really, really lovely view. I was trying to not have any issues with sunbathers. I don't know if you can quite make it out, but there's our stomping grounds over there, Hollywood. I think you can almost see Capitol Records. The little silhouette over there, Century City. Those taller buildings, Koreatown, Wilshire Boulevard. And then Kaiser Permanente. Anyway, back to the house. I'm such a coward. I really should just try to walk in there right now. Except I only have 35% battery left, and with my luck, it will go kaput. So this little round area that those lucky people are standing in, and I probably could go in if I had a set. Thank you so much, Michael. This was that area. Not even a swimming pool, just a... What? Ridiculous. Thanks, Michael. Thank you so much. We happen to love architecture on this channel. And I think it's not just me. And we are really pretty blessed to have some funky stuff in the city. I will say, mountain bike, you did miss the ambulance for today. It was pretty early on. So we're gonna kind of go down the hill. Look at this guy. I think we're gonna exit on Vermont. More stairs. Going down this time. So this is hiking in LA. I'm hiking right now. I like to hike. Look at all the olive trees. Oh, they are olive trees. Somebody has little olives a-wasting. Oh, thanks, Dee. We kind of do it a lot. This summer we haven't done as many like history, story, or walking tours as we did prior to it. The part of the channel I enjoy the most is the connection, of course, talking to you guys, right? And the sort of community that we've built. Let me make sure I'm pulled out. But I also love researching and finding stuff out and sharing it. Hey! All right. So this is like the school part of this. I don't have any information on how this came to play or when this came or if it's actually part of the original building. This has definitely like a 60s, 70s vibe to it, although it is very harmonious with this. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna slip on olives. I want to break my coccyx. Well, which will be great because I'm right next to Kaiser Permanente. All right, there's a little staircase down here. We're gonna take it. Break my tailbone. That light fixture is so cool. Please, yes. Thank you, Cecilia, for the reminder. If it's your first time here, please hit that like and subscribe. And chat if you subscribe. Oh, there's another. We should be coming out of the buffer in a second. I will tell you, we never buffered on T-Mobile back there. Oh, that's a really good question. But I fortunately have it on my other phone. So it looks like, oh nice. 34.6, 16.5. I love looking at this. We've done about 6 miles today. I would say the 0.3 is me walking my dog. Maybe a little under 6 miles. I can barely, back to the Burj Khalifa, I can barely walk up that hill without getting kind of that sense of tumbling down. All right, one more shout out for the Dash bus. So this is where you get the Dash bus to go up to Griffith Park right there, 35 cents. Metro station, Sunset, and Vermont. So we're going to walk down a couple blocks. We'll walk down Fountain through Scientology and the cute little village of Fountain. And then I'm going to probably sign off, do my laundry, and get ready to go camping. So I want to check out, thank my members real quick. I don't want to forget to do that. So anybody that got a membership today, we will update that for our very next live stream. We're definitely not glamping. I would maybe prefer a little more glamping. What? Members twice? That's how great you guys are. Thank you for the support. So good we have to say it twice. Whoops. Or 3 times. I think we'll have a good time. For sure. I don't really have any camping supplies anymore. We ordered, I have a tent. We have 2 tents. One that's like a beach tent, and then another like sleeping tent. Thanks, Cecilia. And then I ordered sleeping bags today, but you know, there'll be other people there. We'll have food and stove and stuff like that. I like coffee. Making my own coffee. We're gonna try to do we can't live stream there because the last time we were there, it was only a satellite connection that you could get. Like you could send a satellite text. However, I looked up the AT&T coverage map. I was on T-Mobile last time. And the T-Mobile coverage map had the whole mountains in dark blue. I still doubt it, but I will be posting up a couple things. A little recap of one of the buildings that we visited the other day with some more inside pictures. We are probably going to try to live stream a little drive and see how that works out. Part of our drive. And we'll definitely be checking in with you guys. And next week I start my October schedule, but I'll be live streaming on Monday to get back into the swing of things. We'll be taking Tuesday off, and then we'll start the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, mostly Saturdays and Sundays stream. So it's almost like I'm adding an extra day. Still, members' videos will drop once a week. We have to pick the interesting part of the drive because a lot of this drive is boring. I wish we were driving up the coast. It would be really nice, but we're going to the Sierras, so we're way inside. I hope we get some s'mores. I'm looking forward to s'mores. Some kind of food cooked on fire. I love that. Could be corn, could be steak. On the way, I'm gonna get a Frosty from Wendy's. We definitely need bug spray. We're gonna stop at like Big Five and grab maybe a couple of extra things. But when I was a kid, I don't think we ever went camping, but we had camping supplies. My parents probably camped before I was born, but we had one of those little toilets and one of those little sinks that you would take camping. I hope there are no cocaine bears either, or fentanyl bears, or rattlesnakes. I'm more afraid of ticks than anything. I feel like Lyme disease is really something to be a little bit afraid of these days. I did not. So we're not like really camping in the wilderness. Like this is like a campsite where people drive RVs and like an area that people kind of live around. So it's very quiet, but it's not like we're hiking 2 miles into the wilderness. That I wouldn't do. I don't think. It's crazy. Lyme disease didn't exist in California until after I moved here. West Nile virus didn't exist in California until after I moved here. I just feel like being out in the middle of the woods and not knowing what's around you, and I'm mostly not worried about bears, although they scare the living shit out of me. I have seen bears from a car window. It still scared me. But like, I'm more thinking about the weirdos that live out in the woods and Texas chainsaw skin suit stuff. Anyway, not pleasant. So we are entering the halls of Scientology. I can't wait to see stars, Mary, actually. I wish the Leonid or the meteor, I wish we'd gone a little bit earlier so we could catch the meteor showers. I love the meteor showers. I remember once I went camping and I went to upstate New York to go hiking, and my friend, it's hard to explain. My friend in America was from Germany, but when she lived in Germany, she was an exchange student in upstate New York. So her host family, one of the sisters was getting married and she wanted someone to go with her. I didn't go to the wedding. And so I went up with her. It was a really great road trip. And I went hiking. It was really fun. And it's like black bear country. So you're all kinds of warnings about bears. And then we were driving and we saw one, like just coming out the side of the road, and I just kind of freaked out. This is formerly Cedars of Lebanon.
Hello.
Hi there. It smells like chicken. I would have talked about the little hospital right there some more, but it is the Scientology hive. And they were watering the sidewalk. Danny D's Mud Shop, wheel thrown ceramics. That's pretty cool. Oof. It's a knitwear shop. We haven't had any more taquitos this week, but I definitely want to go to Cielito Lindo. I thought about going downtown today. Well, I actually thought about going downtown this week, but it's just been kind of right to be over here. I'm gonna cross the street here. Little shadier spot. But we'll definitely get more taquitos. I keep thinking about the rolled tacos that we had the other day. Those are excellent. We're gonna leave tomorrow morning. I forgot I have to pick something up in the morning, Joe. We want to get up there by 4. It's like a 3 or 4 hour drive. All right. I'm gonna sign off over here, walk down and catch the bus the rest of the way home. I hope I see Bigfoot. And a UFO. I want to believe. I want to see a UFO so bad. I really do. Seems like a life-altering thing to see. West Hollywood has a Halloween parade. I don't think Hollywood does, though, or at least I've never heard of it in the time I've lived here. I'll probably venture down to West Hollywood on Halloween and check some of that out. It's a wild night, for sure. So ciao ciao. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to sign off and walk down here. Not a very interesting street, Kenmore. Thank you guys for walking with me today. I will be back on Monday. You can expect to hear from me a couple times this weekend. I can't really schedule anything because it really depends on my signal, as usual. But thank you guys so much for walking with me today. Thank you for the support. I will see you again really, 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 really soon. Have a nice couple days off. And hit that bell so you can get alerts when I have posted things. I guess they say that still. Anyway, have an awesome day. Nice to see you all. Thank you for the support. We'll see you really, 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 really soon. Osge, thanks for the members. Somebody made a donation and now I forgot your name, but thank you so much also. Fireworks, some hearts, some kitties. Have an awesome night. Bye. Bye, Mary. Bye, Cecilia. Mountain bike. Oh, Will, I didn't know if you even... Osge, thank you so much for the donation. This guy's got the jams playing. All right, have a good night, guys.